Okay, good afternoon, everyone. It is May 27th, 2025, and I want to talk about what Elon Musk gets right, in my opinion. I've been very critical of Mr. Musk in the past on this channel, and I thought it'd only be fair to point out that there are some things I think he's 100% right about. Before I get started on that, I just want to say thank you to all the new subscribers and thank you to all the people leaving the comments. I do read them, I do enjoy them. I appreciate the politeness with which everyone conducts themselves, and I would encourage you to keep going. And if you like the videos, I do hope you'll subscribe to the channel. Okay, on to the topic. What is Elon Musk right about? First off, let's start with his statements on the national finances. He has pointed out on many occasions that the United States is on a fiscally unsustainable path. He is completely correct about this. We have debt that is nearing 37 trillion. We are running annual deficits of around 2 trillion. The big beautiful bill, which has already made it through the House and is currently in the Senate. It's unclear what's going to happen in the Senate. Will add on top of the many trillions of dollars that is already expected to be added to the national debt. Will add 3 to 4 trillion more. We are definitely pacing toward being we'll be north of 40 trillion in year and a half or so. We'll be north of 50 trillion, certainly probably in less than 10 years. The bigger problem there is the interest costs of the national debt. The national debt currently costs over $1 trillion a year in net interest. The United States government only brings in about 5 trillion in total revenue per year. Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security take up well in excess of 3 trillion between them. So you take that money, you take the trillion that's being spent on the debt, we have very little left over for everything else. So everything from the military to what's called non-defense discretionary spending. Non-defense discretionary spending is the National Park Service, it's NASA, it's the DEA, it's the FBI, it's the Forest Service, it's food stamps, it's WIC, Women with Infants and Children, it's housing assistance. It's basically everything that's not Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, and net interest on the debt, and not the military. Military is a separate allocation. Or appropriation, I'm sorry, that's what I was looking for. So basically, we are paying for all of our non-defense discretionary spending as well as our defense, essentially, and I'm generalizing a lot here, and so if you want to get nitpicky with the details, feel free. But generally speaking, we are paying for all these on a credit card. They're all being paid with debt that we have to pay interest on, and the amount of interest we're paying is going higher and higher. That's why bond yields have become such a big idea. But the long and short of it is, when Elon Musk says, guys, this can't last much longer, he is right. The Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security have trustees. And the trustees issue a report every year, and they say when they believe it's going to go bankrupt. The report doesn't give a specific year. It says there's a 10% chance it's bankrupt in this year, and then a 50% chance on this other year, and by this other year, it's up to a 90% chance. Long story short, sometime in the early to mid 2030s, these huge entitlement programs are going to go bankrupt. And before anyone says, don't call them entitlements, they're absolutely legal entitlements, that you are entitled to it because you paid into it. The Supreme Court has ruled that you are entitled to them. And you are entitled to them by virtue of what you have paid into them. So yes, they are entitlements. They're going bankrupt. And eventually the interest on the national debt will get to where it consumes all of the non-payroll tax revenue that comes in, and we will basically be completely broke. The fact that the bond yields are rising is making it more and more expensive. The big beautiful bill is going to make all of this worse. So when Elon is saying, guys, this is not going to work long term, he is correct. Elon is, I want to say he's in his 50s. He will definitely live long enough to see this crash and burn. I'm 45. I will live long enough to see this crash and burn, God willing. If you are under age 60, you too will live long enough to see this crash and burn. If you are 60 to 70, you probably will. If you are 70 or older, there's a good chance this really isn't much of a problem for you. It's a huge problem for your children, grandchildren, however. Second thing is the baby bust. Elon Musk has very correctly been saying for a number of years now that we are not having enough children. He is absolutely right about that. This is already a big problem in a number of countries: Russia, China, Japan, South Korea, others. You may say, well, but I saw the Avengers Infinity Wars, and Thanos said that, there's too many people and not enough resources, and if we just got rid of half the people, we'd have all the resources we need. That is not how it works. We have mountains of data on it. The more people you have, the more resources you have. When population declines, you don't get more resources, you get less resources. More importantly, you have a fundamental economic problem. When we talk about supply and demand, You have to have demand. If you don't have enough babies, and 25 years later, you do not have enough young people to meet the demand side of the curve. Let's take a look at Japan. The Japanese government spent 20 years pumping every stimulus plan they can think of into the economy to try to make up with the hole in demand because they did not have enough children. And because they did not have enough children, they now do not have enough adults. They don't have enough people to buy stuff. They also have a problem with their pensions. They don't have enough working age adults to pay for the pensions and health care of their senior citizens. This is a problem the United States is going to be facing in a few more years. This is going to be a huge problem in places like Italy and Germany. By the way, this problem is spreading all over the world. India is on the path for it. They're way behind us. It's going to be a while till they hit it. But Brazil, Turkey, Mexico, many other countries are all on the path. Not all at the same time, not all in the same rate, but they're all headed there. You cannot run modern economies successfully without demand. And the government stimulus side of it only can work as long as the government continues to produce the stimulus. But the lack of productive workers means the lack of taxpayers, which means you don't have enough money coming in to pay for the stimulus, which means you have to then create debt, which means you now have a debt spiral, and on until it all crashes and burns, as it will. So again, if you are thinking less people means more stuff, no. More people means more stuff. More people means higher standard of living. Fewer people means economic stagnation and inevitable economic decline. I would also point out, if you're a big fan of technology and you want to see lots of innovation, innovation comes from young people. It comes from people generally under the age of 30, specifically young men, because they tend to be reckless and foolish enough to just go out and try stuff, just do things and not ask for permission. And that it drives a lot of innovation. Causes a lot of problems, but it also creates a lot of good things. And we're not having enough of those right now. So Elon Musk is absolutely right about that. He's wrong about a great many things. He listens to way too much Russian propaganda. But nonetheless, these are huge fundamental problems that the world is grappling with. And if you are approximately really if you're under age 60, these are big problems you're going to deal with in your lifetime. And remember that why Russia is at war with Ukraine is because of demographics. Why Japan cannot get its economy going is because of demographics. Why China's economy is having so many problems right now is because of demographics. Why Social Security is going to go bankrupt in less than 10 years is because of demographics. So if you're thinking that, fewer kids, more money, everyone's great, no. It works for a short period of time, and then you got to pay the piper, and there is going to be hell to pay for it. So to Mr. Musk, you are right about these issues, and I wish more people would listen. All right, well, thank you, everyone. Hope you have a good day. Enjoy the video, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.